so to get the points of how to do it. And then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way, or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen, but it's amazing to see it. So relax. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, and individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. How you doing, folks? Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for rolling in from Joel's chat, watching the network today. Wild day. We got mods out of control, dropping N-bombs in the chat, getting practically banned. It's a wild day, okay, folks? Thank you for tuning in to the American Anchor Baby. We got ourselves a little bit of a show here. We're going to get into it, okay? I do appreciate 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒎 kicking it off with a super chat right away. Thank you so much. Kale says, Nick, did you see Biden boo-boo his pants in front of the world? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the likelihood of World War III? 2 questions in one. Johnny boo-boo pants. Okay, you get it. I don't know if he did that. I don't know if he did that, Kale. That might be a little bit of fake news. Did you see the clip in context? He was trying to sit somewhere. No? Am I wrong? You know, boo-boo pants. Don't laugh at that. Johnny boo-boo pants. Look, He was sitting down, okay? Wasn't he doing like a little sit-down thing? He was going like this. He was like, oh, wait, should I sit down? Oh, wait. You know that like halfway sit-down thing? And then old, and then like maybe strange mental stuff going on. Okay? I don't know. He almost blasted off. That's not funny. Don't laugh at that. Boo-boo pants. Look, he may not have done that, 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒒𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒍�. Thank you for the super chat. I just don't know about that. Fair, says Kale. Kale is a very reasonable person. The second question, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the likelihood of World War III? My answer to that is, the more I know, the more I learn, and I'm butchering the quote, but the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. The more I realize I don't know. The more I learn and think I know, the more I realize I have no idea. And on the topic of war, I know some of us are getting real learned. We're reading some books. We're getting real smart. But on predictions and all that, it's, how do I put this? It's just not a clear-cut thing when it comes to war, you know. I'm trying to think of examples recently where the predictions were a certain way and it just didn't pan out, you know. We were waiting for a big old war, I can't quite think of it. I'll say I don't know, man, Kale. I really don't. In that anything could happen kind of thing. I know that conflict is rising. We're in a time of way bigger conflict at home, abroad. We're seeing literal borders change, or at least get talked about, you know, in hopes of changing things. Like, I'm trying to describe the unstable time, and so I understand the thoughts of war. But I think the people who are like really into this stuff, like into the history and all that, I've spoken to at least one. At least I respect it in this respect. The vibe I get from those people who are like really been following war for a long, they say, not sure. Although it's not looking good. You know what I mean? People fighting. But thank you for the support there. 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒒𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒍𝒔, you can support me on Rumble, rumble.com/AmericanAnchorBaby, dlive.tv/Gorgonzola. So I do appreciate all that. And you could buy me a coffee. Maybe you want to buy me a coffee. buymeacoffee.com/AnchorBaby. I believe that's everything here. Nice. So welcome to the show. Thank you. 888-775-3773. You want to jump on the air there. Wait on hold and talk to the Anchor Baby. I wanted to get into this here. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat here. The betification of Gen Z destroying our standing army means our enemies know we will go directly to nukes, thus ensuring peace. Kissinger, 1,000 IQ. Yeah, it's the thing about the war stuff. It's all these checkmates. You just don't know what check is coming next, okay? Chris with the super chat, thank you. With a little, I think he's buying me a coffee through YouTube. I think we could call it that. I see a little guy. He's a little funny guy, and he's putting out a little coffee mug, and it's all snazzy and animated. So thank you, Chris, for the support. And I think the YouTube coffee, is that fair to say? So we're on the show. We're on YouTube. We're thankful to the YouTube overlords for spreading my show. And I'm going to follow the rules as best I can. You know, I'm a guest in their home. I'm also in other homes, like Rumble and DLive and all that. Maybe even another one. We'll leave that. We'll just leave that. But I'm going to say to the people that know, the bird is live. I repeat, the bird is live. That being said, I am on YouTube, and you know, some have maybe said, "Oh, a YouTube shill. I need that super chat money," so I'm not going to be talking about schmelections and weird things like that. You may say whatever you wish about me, but you could call me 888-775-3773. On censorship, though, on this a little bit. There's an interesting story out of the Skim. The ladies at this game, it has to do with abortion. And so here's a little bit of the story. What's going on? New York Times reported that TikTok and Instagram have suspended the accounts of abortion groups in recent months with little to no explanation. Pretty tough. Getting banned on TikTok, suspended accounts. What could they be saying? What terms of service could they be breaking? Hey Jane, a telemedicine group, said TikTok took down a video detailing its services because it promoted illegal activities and regulated goods. They're peddling in illegal activities. We're talking about abortion. Mayday Health, a nonprofit that provides info on abortion access, said Instagram suspended its account for posts about guns, drugs, and other restricted goods. Instagram later said that was an error. See, you get hit with the algorithms. You get hit with the robots censoring you. It's not always accurate. It's not always people doing it. They got the robots all trained, the algorithms, the words, all fed into the AIs. So this gets cleared up, though. Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America, an anti-abortion group, said its accounts and ads have also been suspended. So it's going everywhere, as the skim says, but I bet you the anti-abortion groups have been getting it. So now these groups and others are calling on Meta and TikTok to create clear guidelines for abortion-related content. It's not clear. We're having trouble putting up our content. Some of these people, maybe they make money. It's their livelihoods, maybe for some of them. It's like TikTok and social media. Can you make it clear? It's just not clear. They're like, well, how could this be? Can you make this unfair? Could you make this clear for us so that we can operate? It's like, here, have a little censorship, huh? Have a little censorship. How's it feel? How's that feel, huh? Abortion groups have been struggling to share verified content ever since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. So that's what it is. Now that the laws are changing, you got to deal with the law. Liberals and abortion, baby killers. It's changing the way women talk about the procedure online, with many swapping out the word abortion for AB0RTI0N, like a little censored version of the word, or abortion, ABORSHUN, to avoid being flagged. See, they're trying to circumvent the AIs, the algorithms, the bots censoring them. The ladies are having to put zeros in for O's for the words they're trying to censor. I know that trick. I know that trick very well. Welcome. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to our world. You know, we've been censoring the word white. We've been censoring the word white for a while now. Or at least sometimes, most of the time. We censor words like white. Think about that for a second. Or we put WHYTE. White. You know, because we don't want to get flagged. We're here saying some of the most radical things sometimes. We're like, well, I don't know, we should love all people, and including white people. It's crazy. I know, we're radicals. We're total radicals. Experts and women's health groups said limiting access to the content makes it harder for people to find reputable information online and further stigmatizes the conversation about abortion. You're just getting all this misinformation. What misinformation could even be like that effective on abortion? Like, there's no real fight there, if you've noticed, or real point in fighting over that, if you've noticed, because people, there's something way more upstream, way higher upstream that results in these conclusions that people make. And you could really fight forever on the minutia. I mean, that's what they've been trying to do, right? What's a baby? What's a fetus? You know, all the fights and the arguments. But now they have to censor themselves with the change of the laws here, Roe v. Wade. And some things may be borderline breaking terms of service. They're getting flagged. Maybe they're even getting shadow banned. Is there even shadow banning happening? Abortion. See, here's some of the so-called misinformation, they say. The why this is a big deal, why this Roe v. Wade stuff is so bad, and you got to change it back because people are getting misinformed. Don't you understand? They're harming themselves. They're full of misinformation, latest social media misinformation, abortion reversal pills. So there's all this misinformation going around, and people are actually believing there's a pill that could reverse your abortion. What's up, guys? Social media companies are grappling with the flood of misinformation. The topic about abortion reversal pills, this dangerous and unproven treatment, is being touted as a way for a pregnant person to halt a medication abortion before it can take effect. So they're saying it's dangerous. Okay, don't believe everything you hear on the internet, right? Don't be doing all that. But that's why you got to reverse it. That's why we got to deal with this, because people are they're harming themselves. So all this anti-abortion stuff's got to go. It's got to go because people are believing lies on the internet. You maybe see the connection a little bit, but maybe for some of us, a little weak. I don't buy it. It sounds to me like maybe that's a lost leader. I don't know what term I'm looking for, but you say that a certain issue needs to be dealt with because, and then you posit a problem. That's a far cry from what the abortion people in this example really feel. What they really want is they want the freedom to end a life in the womb at any time, and the basis of it and the reasoning and basis and whole justification is simply because someone wants to, because one person wants to, with a woman specifically. On this, though, misinformation, Mama's here to help. Mama's here to save you, teach you the right way. I don't know if that kind of stuff works. I don't know if you notice consumer labels. I don't know if you knew this about consumer labels. They don't really work. There's research on this. You can look it up. Not too important here. But there's research on it. Consumer warning labels, they don't work. What's wrong here? Are people stupid? Is America just dumb? Is it low IQ? Is it the IQ sink? What's it called? The IQ drain in America? Is it, what could it be? Why do we see even crazier warning labels pop up? Like, don't eat this, and it's on a label of like something clearly toxic. Like, this is not food. Now, this is a question for maybe my older audience here. Not necessarily too old, but hey, anybody older than me, I guess. Has that gotten worse? Have you seen the consumer label thing get worse? Like, oh, wow, they really got to put on kid gloves with the American public here. Is it that people are people just getting dumber? You just got to put every little warning. Well, turns out they don't even read them. Turns out the fact that you've been putting warning labels everywhere, people don't care. They care less because you put them everywhere. So you try to mama people more. They rebel. They turn away. They ignore you. And then they get mad if you try to save them and help them. How simpler can you put it? It's not real complicated sometimes, folks. Politics and what's going on. It's individuals and the problems they have. And the problems individuals have are internal. They're totally internal. They're the source of the problems in people's lives are overwhelmingly themselves. And so hopefully we can get into that as we move forward here. 888-775-3773. So yeah, as we move forward here, we'll get into all of these things, folks. What a mess. But yeah, the ladies getting censored. Idiots get censored, get rocked. It sucks, but it happened to us. So now you get it, and the fight continues, and we're going to war and do unto you what was done to us. The fight is stupid. You get that, right? Like if you're into responsibility and doing things right, then you're not going to want abortion. You don't need stats on that. You don't need I guess, like an argument of life and when the fetus starts. You might be interested, but let's be real. You already made that decision well before getting into any stats or anything. You just realize, okay, I'm into responsibility. I'm into those kinds of things. So I see the world wants abortion just for irresponsibility. And you're just not into it. You don't need to get into the fight over it. You see how that's silly? You see how the fighting is silly? Because people's hearts and their beliefs or whatever is what's behind this decision. And the abortion fight is a proxy for all of that. Conservative, okay, so you get it. The fight is stupid. And it brings me a little bit to the Hunter thing. Hunter Biden, I mentioned him over the days saying, like, who cares? And I still feel the same way, although I'm seeing all the conservatives respond to the Hunter Biden conviction, getting convicted for these federal gun laws. Basically, he was not supposed to own a gun when he was a drug addict. And the proof, the whole thing centered around proving that in these 11 days that they were able to find that he purchased and owned a gun. Was he a drug addict in those 11 days? That's a felony, something like that. And they're saying no one is above the law. No one's above the law. Not even Hunter. You see, they're not going after Trump just for no reason. It's the law. We're living in a law. This is order happening, folks. Well, what did Hunter even do? Like, did he commit a crime? It seems like it. I don't know the details. Like, yeah, drugs are bad. Okay? Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. And all that. But this gun conviction thing is far from any win. Like, here's my view of it, and you can correct me on any inaccuracies here. But it seems like the whole push was, we're going to get the Biden crime family. These people had family members like Hunter Biden working with Ukrainian energy companies. You heard the name Burisma. And there's some weird stuff. Investigate that stuff. And the Republicans are like, we're going to get him. We're going to investigate this corruption. But the Democrats led this themselves. Merrick Garland was the one who appointed the special counsel, David Weiss. And when that happened, the Republicans were like, I don't know. I don't trust this guy. But hey, it's an inside job. It's an inside job. And like I said the other day, this is just a highlight of the perversion of the Republicans. Absolute perversion. The whole thing was like corruption of politicians. We're talking about Biden, corruption, foreign money, politics, grand moves in the grand game, criminals, like stuff that's serious. But we're just getting, we'll just get him for gun charges. Like, what are you saying here? I'm not saying that it's okay to break the law, but what's that law sucks anyways, right? Like they say felons can't vote and all that. It seems like a not very well thought out kind of thing in society. And I could be wrong about this, but like I heard an intelligent man say once, and I believe his name, I could be wrong here, is Asmodor. I think he said something like, if you're a felon, like if you're not allowed to own a gun, then maybe you shouldn't be out on the streets. Maybe there's something wrong here in this whole, you paid your dues, now you're back in society, but actually you're not. So we're just going to get all hyped up and go after Hunter in this way? I mean, is that really any different than the way they're going after Trump? It's not really about the documents. It's not really about this or that. It's lawfare. So it's not really about the drugs and the guns, Hunter. It's lawfare because the Republicans got to look good and we got to go after the Biden crime family, but not really. It's all crap. So the perversion of the Republicans on display. It's an inside job. And showing, like this abortion thing, showing that the Republican men and the party of common sense and Christianity and whatever these things I hear are just a bunch of emotional people fighting. A bunch of emotional people fighting. Emotional, corrupt people fighting. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying here, right? And I see calls coming in. Thank you. 888-775-3773. Let me pull up all the calls here. Not even logged in. Appreciate the patience. We'll get right to you here. In fact, it looks like it's about this topic. Let me get to you in a sec here. But what else? Idiots getting censored. Look, on display how dumb fighters are. These people who fight and like just simple words get them. Okay, that's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. Let's fight. I'm a Christian. That's an abortion person. Let's fight. Putting on display the losing position that is. Like in just this. Oh yeah. If there's not a single conservative saying, okay, censoring the abortion people is just on its face wrong, then we're just getting nowhere. We're not gonna make it. Republicans, conservative, whatever, just not gonna make it. They're really no different. And I've shown you this before. Can't help but do it again. Okay, so that's that on that. Hunter is a total rock star. I disavow drugs, okay? Don't do drugs. But what else about that? Yeah, the perversion of Republicans, kind of way into the details of that. But it was crack, man, and it was like a niece or something, man, and they're naked, and they did this and that. Tell me about it again in detail. What Hunter did. Yeah, Hunter. And I'm sorry. I didn't know I was in Congress. Sorry. I got excited. And so what did Hunter do? Oh yeah, say it again, slower. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot I'm a Republican in Congress. Okay, anyways. So that's a mess. We're going to let them handle it while we deal with our lives. Because what these politicians, Republicans, famous people, celebrities I might even get into in a bit here, they're all dealing with the very same things. It's so interesting to see it on display after years of hearing calls on the Jesse Lee Peterson show and just like driving that point about the demons inside and the source of it all, of your problems. You're hearing callers on the show talking about their marriage, about the mess they're in that won't let me see the kids, a woman saying my husband's this or that. We don't know the details, the other side, but it sounds like a mess. It sounds like an absolute mess what the people are going through. And it's like, but we just can't get over it. Like, there's just problems between us. I'm thinking of different couples and different people who've called the JLP show. It's just problems. There's just problems. When the only problems really are that individual, you'll hear the craziest thing, like this woman is lying and taking the kids and doing this or that. But the man or the individual or the woman in that situation, the answer to their situation is still them. You might think that's crazy, like Nick, but some people are getting some people are there's crazy divorces happening. There's people who are getting lied on. They're trying to put them in jail saying they're a sexual this or that just because the one person hates the other. Even in that situation, hopefully we can get into that as we go on in the show, go forth in the show here, that as the world falls apart, is even if you could show me a situation where a person, everything is going wrong around them and they're not doing anything, there's still something they could do. There's still something they could do, that individual could do. It has to do with faith. It has to do with a couple things, but we'll get into it here. 888-775-3773. You know, I want to talk about the N-word heard around the world. You heard it on the Joel Friday TV podcast a little bit. I'm not going to get too into it, but the N-word heard around the world. This Lily girl, on a clip here that's got people talking because she said the N-word. But first, let's get to Greg, who seems like he wants to talk a little bit about this. How you doing, Greg, on the air?
Hey, Nick.
Appreciate it, sir.
So, yet again, I'm at work, so I'm going to make this quick, but
no problem.
From my understanding of the Hunter Biden situation was, I get where you're coming from, where what you just said about how you feel about it, but the way I understood it was he did this thing that everybody has to do to get a gun. He signed this thing called a NICS background check, and I think it's the first question or whatever question. It says, do you do illegal drugs or something to that effect. And he put whatever he put on that, and then they were trying to prove that he was on drugs when he said on that form he didn't, so that's like lying on a federal form.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Hake's take was kind of like, if you're on drugs and a drug addict, should you be having guns? And I think that definitely, I don't think that conviction is important and all the weight that people are putting on it, just like people put weight on Trump's conviction. I think they're both very similar, and it's hilarious how they, of course, happen next to each other. That way, you know, both sides can have more emotional fuel or whatever. So,
right, you know, I don't want to cut you off, but you're speaking on that weight. That's a good way of putting it. That's kind of my impression as well. I wanted to mention that. I feel this weight on the Biden stuff, on the Hunter Biden stuff, that's similar to all this weight put on Trump, and it's all out of proportion.
Yeah, exactly. But I also think maybe I'm a little bit schizo or something, but maybe I also think this gun charge also has to do with the gun grabs they want to perform. Like just like you're saying, they want to claim that no one's above the law. And then, of course, they're all above the law and we're all below the law. Yes. And they're all going to get us now with these forms and stuff.
And, you know, I won't even put it, I'm not saying you're wrong on that, because it sounds like totally possible. I wouldn't even put too much importance on that, because this little Hunter on the gun thing, Hunter Biden's conviction is a drop in the work that's already been done on that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're saying that this is like the spanking. This is like falling upwards or something.
This is a small drop in what you're talking about. Gun grab, taking the Second Amendment and all that. I feel like there's a lot done on that already. A conviction of this level with Hunter Biden is kind of small change on that. If that was the agenda, small stuff.
Okay, well, I'll do a parting comment because I gotta go. I'm gonna say I live in New York, and here you can imagine what it's like getting guns. Anyways, so you gotta wait a year. You gotta fill out that form. Everybody's gotta fill out that form. You gotta wait, a long time, and then you have to get approval from like a sheriff or something. You got to go through all these steps. It's crazy. I could go into detail. It's crazy. But now on top of that, New York wants to legalize marijuana, and then they will, let me just give you an example. So my friend's wife is a lawyer, and she went to a function for work, and she doesn't drink at all. She doesn't do any drugs, actually. Anyways, she pulled out of the bar to leave the work function. A cop pulled her over, and she got into a lot of legal trouble, and the cop was not happy when she found out that she was a public defender or whatever, represented, that area. But anyways,
interesting.
You can't even pull out of a bar now because they'll say you're on marijuana,
right,
and they'll get your blood from you. The Fourth Amendment's gone, Second Amendment's gone. They're throwing it all away. I gotta go.
Thanks, Greg. Call me again.
Peace out.
888-775-3773. Quick comments there from Greg. Can't quite remember them all, but yeah, that weight. It's just a misplaced weight on the Hunter Biden stuff, because wasn't it originally about something serious, like all this corruption, and like we're talking about American politicians are getting foreign money, influence peddling, like those are serious things. He's got a drug addicted son and he's doing crazy things. Let's get the Biden family, like whatever. Okay. How's that on that, huh? 888-775-3773. That's that. The N-word heard around the world. There's a video of what they are calling a trad influencer going around. Like, I don't know if she calls herself that, but they're calling her that. The headlines are calling her a trad influencer. So, we have our reservations on trad influencers. But I honestly love her response. I sincerely do. And you heard the response video on the Joel Friday TV podcast. Go check out his episode if you want to see that. I'm not playing it for you. Go watch his episode on it. Great epi. But she's this lady, trad influencer, they call her. She used the N-word in a video, so you know it's a problem. And I kept finding the little clip of it where she's like, all these people marrying broke A N-words. And I'm like, wait, can we get the full clip here? What was she talking about? I think you heard it on Joel as well. I did find it, sorta. It's got this stupid watermark all over it because I couldn't find it elsewhere. But she was speaking about, if you just saw the clip, broke A-N. Okay, what are you up to? She actually was talking about not what most people thought. She was criticizing some men. She was tired of all the men judging women for being gold diggers. Let's see. Might as well play it. Let's just play the clips here. Let's just get into it, folks. You may have seen these already, but let's get into it.
So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami.
Remember I was saying that? I was saying that we're seeing these OnlyFans models, these women say these things about men, and men are like, what? This is how all women are. And I'm like, guys, this is barely a woman. This is barely even a woman. This is like an OnlyFans, like a porn star that are saying these things and going viral. And they're literally. I'm gonna stop myself from saying that. The sun is up, but they're on video. And we're here like that's supposed to be a response that a conclusion this woman has made about all men, about all relationships. These are barely women we're talking about. And then the men out there doing the men on the streets outside of a club. You know what I'm saying?
At 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub, you're getting the opinion of some dumb whores.
Oh, I forgot to censor that.
Immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass. So a recent video.
And this is her response. I'm not going to play the response. I love her response. I truly do. It was funny, she's like, oh, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. It totally looked like an apology video, but she's like, I don't care. You got to appreciate that, folks. You got to appreciate that. We're talking about the world turning on you, or at least large parts of it. And that's not a easy thing to handle. A lot of people do the public apologies. We're talking about the most alpha guys going out doing this public apology for something they said. And she's going around, this video's going around, Lily Gaddis is her name, getting a lot of hate over it. There are death threats even, but this online stuff, you know how it goes with the death threats and all that. But it's happening, according to her. She's posting the photos showing the hate. Please, I hope someone finds you and skins you alive. Wow. I got your address now. Got a gun. You will regret saying the N-word. Stupid, dumb, white Neanderthal. You see weird on my soul, please. Okay, hold on. I'm going to have to decipher this. You so weird on my soul. Please come to New Orleans. Please, I'm begging you. You scary A whoer saying N-word and she. You only doing that because whatever. Hey, bud, word choice is important. Suicide is always an option. Wow. Okay, a little bit. They're just memeing, right? Now those are just memes, right? It gets blurry when hate is involved. It gets blurry. They're just memeing. So she got fired as well from her job that she recently got. Apparently, Rof of the Carolinas. Now I don't know what kind of work Rofi of the Carolinas does, but they are saying they want to address a recent incident that has caused concern and upset amongst our stakeholders. A newly hired employee made inflammatory remarks on social media that do not align with the values and beliefs of our company. Is at least the statement from these people. And I get the mess. Can I say the nitpick point here? Can I say the nitpick point? Because I get like that companies are subject to public opinion like this in America where you have free speech. It's over. Like, that's crazy. Little nitpick point though. While we're getting into this and getting all hyped up and we're supporting Lily Gaddis and we're like, yeah, right on, she's going to be the savior of the white race or something. Some stuff I'm seeing online. While we're doing that, let's remember that they're being quite clear here. Rofi. They're saying, hey, we have stakeholders. They pay the bills. This hired employee used their free speech, but they went online and they're viral now. They're a part of our company now. And you know what? We're not comfortable with that. We want to get paid. And we're going to do what we do. And I got to just throw a little bit of sobriety in there before all the gnashing of liberals happens. I just got to throw it a little sobriety, okay? And I see the calls coming in. Thank you so much. I just have to throw a little sobriety there, okay? So Lily Gaddis getting all this hate, trad influencer, telling the people what's up. You know, she made those comments about broke A N-words. Basically, what I gather from what she was saying is she's saying like, okay, you guys are freaking out about all this gold digger stuff. Like all these women are, you've heard some of the words maybe, the red pill ideology, that all women are hypergamous. They're always looking to upgrade. So they'll drop you in a second if you don't provide. You got to be a provider. You got to do all these things. You got to be you're a sub 6 male incel. You're never gonna get married. You're a sub 6. Don't you know? Don't you know the ideology? I'm laughing it up a little bit. But I felt like she brought a little sobriety to that too, don't you think? You know, it's not all like these club girls who are asking for 6 figures or nobody else. It's like, no. And the broke A and comment is like, you got to see past it a little bit. You know, I've talked about it myself. These women who are learning all the words about what a man is, and they're just using that on the men, beating them over the head. You got to provide. You got to do all this. Meanwhile, there's no talk about what went wrong here, ladies. We're talking about what went wrong with the men. There's a whole other side of the equation. When the men were doing the things you're asking them to do, the women were too doing things that they used to do, like not voting, like staying at home. You know, I'm just saying. But on that, you gotta be about the spirit, okay? You gotta see past certain things. And she's kind of being quite gracious in that first clip, right? Okay, what else here? Now, I don't know if she's a Christian. Some are not sure. Some are not sure if she's a Christian. They hear the foul mouth on this one. And they're like, I don't know if she's a Christian. I know she's wearing the cross necklace there. People are not convinced. Some people are not convinced. Maybe they're judging. Lily. You know what? Let me see what else here. Did I have another clip of hers?
So all those nerds in high school.
Oh, yes. Man, I didn't think about going that deep into this, but who cares? We're rocking and rolling. We're just going to do a whole segment on this. Look, Lily on, I forget what.
School, like the weird theater kids and the anime people, and you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of fucking nerds.
Oh, yeah.
Those fucking dorks that never got laid in high school, and they've got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat ass fucks making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones.
Wait, what law is that? She's just speaking inaccurately, right? What law is that? What law about? I'm not sure what law that is, Lily, but I'm sure you're just speaking inaccurately, but we get you. That's what's going on here, right? That's the vibe. You know the vibes.
Inventing clown world. They're the ones
They're inventing clown
media.
world.
They're the actors. You wonder why actors are so politically leftist? Oh, right. It's because they're loser theater kids.
It's just theater kids, folks. But we get it, right? She's just being inaccurate. It's not like she's supposed to be the I don't know, bleeding edge of a conservative thought here, right? You know, we're not expecting her to be that, right? Well, it seems some are. I'm just seeing the comments and she's she's gonna save America. Some people are taking it far. Like and I understand the reaction a little bit. They've never maybe seen they're not used to someone speaking, a free woman talking. They're not used to a free woman talking in America. But yeah, vulgar, not very Christian. She's got a sailor's mouth on her, as some say. And people on Twitter are like, well, I don't know. She's got a nose on her. She's all vulgar. I don't know if she's a Christian. Well, folks, you could put those theories and conspiracy theories aside, because here she is on Twitter saying, in response to someone telling her, hey, can you get a black coworker to say it on video? If they don't fire them, then you have a great discrimination lawsuit waiting, says LIBS hate us to this Lily girl. And Lily responds to this saying, good point, but I'm not litigious. I'm not litigious, and I don't want to screw over my boss. Right on, Lily. A little, not letting this go to your head like you got to go now sue them. Whatever, they fired you, it's whatever. You don't need to screw over the boss. And she's not litigious, okay? I'm highlighting the word litigious because she may very well be a Christian. She may very well be a Christian. She's not litigious. She's making that clear. She's not litigious. All into that law and doing law stuff and suing people and being very aware of the law and being very proficient in the law and using it. She's whoa, Terry, cool it with the anti-Semitism. Cool it with the anti-Semitism in my chat. So,
they're the theater
funny
kids
stuff.
Who grew up.
Theater kids. I don't know if it's theater kids, Lily, but we don't need her to be all accurate and be the leading leader on a conservative thought. She's just saying it how it is, and we appreciate Lily for that. What else did I have on her?
Speaking to
Oh, see, I also didn't think I would get into this, but hey, here she is in like a bikini. She's the trad wife influencer, right? They say I don't know if she calls herself that, so don't be judging her, because maybe she's not even out here trying to be trad. So don't judge her for being in a bikini. What's conservative about that? Maybe a fine question. But she's kind of on it on this clip too. We don't even need to play it, honestly. Let's move on. But she's telling the gym bros. Let's play it.
the men right now. So I think you guys are really worried a lot about your gym muscles and that it's not like perfect or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing with this fucking avocado. But girls don't care. In fact, I actually do not like gym guys at all. And let me explain to you why. So, you know how you guys are not a fan of like fake eyelashes, fake fingernails, fake lips, fake boobs, I don't know, fake hair, I don't know. You know that look. You know what I mean? Well, that's exactly the equivalent for girls with super extreme gym guys. Like,
anyways, you get the point. Just want to play a little bit since I had it here. Here now I'm simping for Lily. I didn't want to do that. Great. Playing her content. That's what I mean by simping for Lily. But hey, right on. What else did I want to say about this? The N-word heard around the world. It's crazy. People are losing their minds over that. More on that in a minute. Do we need her though? Can I just nitpick a little bit? Okay. It pains me. I don't take pleasure in doing this, and then we'll get to calls. I don't take pleasure in doing this. Allow me to nitpick. Allow me to nitpick just a little bit because I don't disagree with anything she's saying. If anything, this is a nitpick on the fellas. You know, they're posting her clips everywhere, and they're saying X user Lily is going viral on X for calling Jewish influence on politics gay, unapologetically using the N-word and saying she's America first. And it's like, right on, that sounds cool and all that. But to the fellas in the Twitters and on the bleeding edge of politics, on the bleeding edge of America first and manhood and bringing America back, like, if I can nitpick a little bit, the reaction of base Christian girl who's gonna save politics and is gonna we did it, boys. We're finally gonna overcome it. Like I'm putting myself in the shoes of some of these guys, okay, for a moment. We did it, boys. This is it. We're getting rid of Israel. Like I'm putting myself in the shoes there for a second, and I gotta say, is there a little bit of reflection here? Is there just a little bit of reflection going on here, please? Of, girl saying basically what should be basically obvious great things. We should just be saying right on and being great ourselves. Isn't this kind of a proof of a low bar on ourselves, fellas? Isn't this proof of a low bar that she's that amazing? Like she's saying just what should just be basic things. You understand? Like closing the border. Like that shouldn't be a win. We won. Republicans are winning. They're saying they want to close it. No, that should be a basic thing. Without any fanfare and gold stars. Like, thank you. You finally did what you were supposed to do. Saying obvious great things like the N-word. You cannot put that in quotations, Carver. I don't know if I said it. I don't know if I said that, Carver. I didn't quite put it like that. But I don't disagree. It's a great thing. We all know that it can be used in a hateful way. But let's be real, folks. At this point, at these heights of America, at these heights, the N-word is just like a normal word now. It's just a normal. See, let's be real, folks, because of culture, because of all the work that black people have done. Let's be real. Taking it back, being in the forefront of the culture, rap music. Everyone's a little black now. You guys have noticed. And they're still a little mad. It's like you guys are like at the forefront of culture and you guys are mad. They're using your words. It's not always hateful. In fact, at this point, the overwhelming majority, I'd say, for the overwhelming majority of times that the N-word is used in America, I bet you, overwhelming majority, it's for nothing reasons. Someone's repeating it. It's a song. They're saying, hey, what's up, my friend? What's up, my brother? What's up, neighbor? They're doing something like that. They're being neighborly. Let's be real. That's my theory. That's my opinion. That's how I see the N-word, because it's just because it's just so big in culture. What else on this? Yeah. What else on this? Let's get to calls here, but I need to show you something real quick right before we get to calls. You know, Lily Gaddis talking about the gym bros a little bit. She mentioned the gym bros. Hey, kind of good advice on the kind of insightful. You know, I've heard women actually say this for a long time, personally. Are you even gym bros? Wait, gym bros. Are you talking to women? You know, just saying hi. I'm not talking about dating and gaming them and like sleeping with them. And it's like I pulled a 8 and I'm a sub 7. No, just like just talking to them. You know, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, person, just talk to them. You know, they say this actually. They actually say this about the gym bros. They say this a lot, and they're talking about the extremes. Okay, they're not talking about someone who's just healthy and doing it up like that. She's young. She wasn't planning on starting no stupid conservative movement. She just slipped up and now she's backed in the corner, so she's fighting. Interesting comment. Everything is fake. That's why I really like her response. Straight up. A lot of guys wouldn't respond like that. I really sincerely love her response. That's alpha. But what did I want to say about that? Everything is fake. I think she was TikToking about this stuff like before this video went viral. I could be wrong, but she's kind of been TikToking about this conservative stuff and all that. So, okay. So that's a comment on that. What else? Gym bros. Can I say something to the gym bros? Gym bros. Is it over? Is it over, gym bros? It's so over. After those comments from Lily Gaddis, you've been hitting the iron. You've been doing up. You've been like hitting PRs like never before. In fact, maybe some of you have even gone a darker route or the world says it's a darker route, but you were looking for greatness. You were looking for greatness so badly that you're like, I'm not going to be an incel. I'm not going to be this or that. I'm not going to be what they call me. I'm going to inject tren straight in my veins and be different and be great. I'm talking about the extreme gym bros. Gym bros. Is it over? I need to show you something I found on the internet that you may not understand. It may be totally schizophrenic to you, but when I saw it, I knew that whoever made this, that this is their magnum opus.
Sweetest infection, body and mind. Sweetest injection of any kind.
That's truly amazing. This is truly amazing content, and you may not have understood this. You may not have understood this, but to my young gym bros who are considering changing themselves irreversibly, those things you're seeing on the internet, the people that they take, the steroids and all that. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my chat. I'm presenting them insanity, and I'm going to have to explain it to them. Question 1, what is Norwood? Norwood. Question 1, what is Norwood? You see, the Norwood scale, the Hamilton-Norwood scale is used to classify the stages of male pattern baldness. It is one of the widely accepted and reproducible classification systems for the male pattern hair loss. Okay? It's the Norwood scale. A Norwood 0, it means you have no hair loss. Norwood 5 is it's over. Okay? It's over. And if you didn't know, gym bros, if this meme didn't explain it to you, the incredible story of this Wojak, as they call him, who wanted to change himself, and he took the sweetest injection. He took the sweetest injection of tren or some kind of steroid. Why is Lily on my screen? I don't want to see Lily anymore. Lily, we're done with you. And he didn't know that these steroids cause hair loss. That's why the bottle said may cause Norwood. Now you understand, okay? Now you understand that this metamorphosis did not come without a cost. You understand? And as the Norwood Reaper came to him, he was reborn as a hairless but buff angel. I mean, this is incredible. Anybody know who made this? Because I feel bad even just presenting this without shouting out who made this. I got this from some Twitter user named Jordan. This Jordan guy is not telling me who made this. I don't think Jordan made this. Let me quickly look in the comments here because this is art. This is incredible. Oh. All right, check it out, folks. I should at least shout out who made this. It's a person on Twitter named Fraser Payne. Goes by Minegott Niles. At Minegott Niles on Twitter. Incredible work, Fraser Payne. May cause Norwood. Okay? Don't you know, gym bros, if you just like do manly stuff, like that'll do the trick. Like car stuff and getting dirty and that's what Lily said too. You know what I mean? Cause nothing, okay? You get it. We're done with the sweetest injection, with the memes. Let's get to a call here. Let's get to Frederick out of Los Angeles. You're on the air. Thank you, sir.
What's going on, Nick? What's going on? I ain't mean to handle you that rough Friday, man.
No, sir. I didn't mean to handle you like that, sir. You know, we're judging each other, and we got to stop that.
Hey, old girl got fired, right?
You said old girl?
the one that used the N-word.
Yeah, she got fired.
Yeah, that's why I'll be like, man, it's not good to use because you don't know what people are going to do. I'm saying you got the right to say whatever, but I ain't saying you should. You know what I'm saying? We had this conversation before, and you was like, everybody should be able to say it. No.
Yeah.
No, because there's mental illness where people snap, and they just like a reflex where they, from young age, over so many years of living around like borderline West End communities or East End, depending on what side the tracks are on. Back in the day, yeah, you kept them on their side and you stayed on your side, and it was really war out here in the streets. There was little race riots popping out. You know what I'm saying? Every OJ or Rodney King, you have little race riots. You know what I'm saying? But they never last. The racist people always die out. They short-lived. They come out and they speak their little words, but they don't like have a good career. They end up switching, dyeing their hair and coming out under a new name, and you don't hear nothing else about them. But it's fun while it's lasting. You know what I'm saying? It gives y'all hope.
Gives who? Gives who
Lil.
hope?
She needs to shut women like Lily.
Gives who hope for what?
She needs to shut up and cook. But at the same time, like y'all say, some women...
Wait, gives who hope for what? Don't leave me behind in the conversation, Frederick.
You think she gonna bring America back?
Huh? I don't think so. I'm not saying that. Oh, yeah, but that's what some people are. They're getting this whole like, it's girls like this. This is a sign that people are waking up. That's what some people are saying.
Right? No. Yeah, she's.
But what do you think it gives them hope
put her
for?
in the kitchen. They're gonna put her on OnlyFans and tell her shut up. That's what they're gonna end up doing because Candace Owens, she had a little run, but when the truth come out, women have a certain type of soul about being dishonesty and knowing. It shows all over their face. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, so far I can understand what you're saying about it's not smart to just go around saying whatever just because you can. I mean, when you start off the call like that, I mean, you sound halfway reasonable, Frederick. I mean, I cannot disagree with that. That is just good advice for all people.
Stopping what they having to do that day and just follow you home and say, all right, you want to say that? I'm gonna stay in here and wait on you and see where you go.
That is actually pretty reasonable. In general, right? That's just generally good advice here, Frederick, on just because you can say it doesn't mean you should. But what do you say about the people reacting to her? Are they wrong for that?
I think people are vessels, and God used vessels to create his plan and to manifest his plan. So, I mean, them people are reacting out the way God want them to, I guess, and they're going to learn and have, go through their life lessons at the time God.
You think God wants people to react like that to her saying the N-word?
Hey, everything out here is God's plan. We don't have no real, power.
Is God making those people react that way to her saying the N-word?
God has God is in control of everything.
Is God making those people react that way to her saying the N-word? Yeah, but
omniscient means.
I'll ask you again. No problem. I'll just ask you again. I'll let you finish. I'll ask you again after. So do you think God is making okay.
God is making the N-word. People say the N-word.
Yeah, and is God also making the people get mad at her saying the N-word? You're saying God is making those people do that?
Yeah.
Really?
From what we went through, he made a word exclusive for us, and you want to make it inclusive, but it'll never be that way because of his history.
So wait, you really believe God is controlling these individuals and making them get mad at the N-word, and he's also at the same time making her say the N-word, and so that these people could get mad under God's control?
Yep, and the people can see two devils fighting. They can wake up and say, this ain't right. That person saying the N-word is triggering this person.
So now why is God doing all that?
There wouldn't be no reaction. Yeah, it's creating white guilt all day. What do you mean?
No, I'm asking you, why is God doing all that?
To create white guilt, because the world's changing. Those that was first will be last, and those that were last will be first.
So God is pitting people against each other and making them get angry at each other and fighting each other for some grand plan?
He said, who said let's go
What God are you talking about? Wait, hold up. What God are you talking about?
Nick, who said let's go down and cause confusion because on the one accord...
No, I'm following what you're saying. Don't start saying a bunch of other things. Wait, hold on, Frederick. Don't start saying a whole bunch of other stuff that... I'm not saying anything. No, remember, so far, we're talking about what you said. So hold on, slow down. I haven't said anything, Frederick. We're talking about what you said.
Listen, I'm talking about the Bible.
No. You need to calm down. You can't be like, listen. Don't get all activated.
No, I'm
Don't
not
get all
saying
activated.
you said it. I'm
We
saying
started off the
Bible
call
said
saying
it.
we're not
You're
going to judge each other.
Right. You're
So let's slow
mishearing what I'm saying.
down. We got some time. You got some time with the
All
anchor
right, we
baby.
got time. We got time.
We got time.
Listen, I'm not saying you said it. I
Okay.
said the Bible said it.
Okay.
So
So
we should go down and cause confusion. That's what the Bible said. And you saying, you say God has said this? Yes. He said if on one accord, there's nothing that they can't do in the Bible. So we're going to go down and separate their language. They was building this Tower of Babel. And God does that all the time. He causes confusion and rebuild. And he does that.
okay,
Right?
so again, right, okay, well, you're talking about Babel and all that, and you're saying that God causes confusion.
Today.
But I'm asking you, he's doing that with the people he's causing. So back to what I was asking you. So you're saying he's causing people to get mad at each other like this today about the N-word and all that?
Yes, sir, Nick.
That sounds like a strange God. What God are you talking about?
Why he done it in the past and you believe it? Why wouldn't he do it today?
I don't know. I've never even read this story of Babel.
Oh, well, anyway, people getting fired and the people on the right side of the law and people saying, yeah, you can't say it. That seems like the right side of history. So we're reversing
What seems like the right side of history?
past.
I missed what you said. Sorry.
That you're getting fired for saying the N-word and people are reacting certain ways. So we're on the right side of history. And
All
people
right.
shouldn't say it. It's just,
Let me
it's
ask
just
you.
about
I got you. You're saying you're on the right side of history. So I asked you earlier if you thought it was wrong
white
for the
on the
people.
right side.
If you thought it was wrong for the people that are reacting to Lily here. You said it was God's plan and all that, but again, you don't think there's anything wrong with them? You don't think you're saying there's something wrong with what she's doing, right?
Yes, they're gonna figure it out through their life lessons. They
And
gonna
so
know
what
what's
is
wrong
that?
with them when she can't get a job in 10 years. She gonna realize, that's.
And so what is
well,
that? What
but
is
God
that thing
took her
that's
through
wrong?
that.
And so what is that thing that's wrong that you said is wrong in the people reacting to her? Can you describe what's
It's
wrong about
ignorance.
that?
It's not knowing. It's the ignorance. They got to learn. They got to live life to learn. They make mistakes and then they learn. God lets us make mistakes and learn. What are you so confused about?
Again, I'll ask you again. So it's so far, it seems like we were following the conversation. It sounded like you said that like in the same way that Lily is wrong with something she did, it sounded like there's something wrong with the people reacting to her. Can you tell me what that is? How do you see that? What is wrong with those people?
There's listen, there's a bigger audience than those that's fighting. Those that's fighting are blind. They will learn their lessons in the future. Those watching are learning their lessons from past experience and see the problem. So they're turning the white guilt to say, we shouldn't say the N-word. So the more they do this and fire her, the more examples of white guilt. God is creating in front of our face. God's are many kind of things.
Okay.
I got my certificate today.
I don't know where that came from. Let me try again, Fred. So what's wrong with the people? What's wrong with the people reacting to the N-word?
Vessels. Nothing's wrong with
Because you
the
said
people.
something's wrong with them. I'm just trying to
They're
figure out
only
what you
vessels.
mean.
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with people.
No,
God
you
are
said
going
something
through
is wrong with them. Are you saying there's nothing wrong with the people reacting to the N-word?
There's
Or are you saying
nothing
there
wrong.
is?
They're vessels.
So there's absolutely they're doing nothing wrong.
They're
So what
vessels,
about
exactly.
what about Lily? What about Lily?
What about her?
Is she doing anything wrong?
If she think cloud chasing is good, I mean,
But she's
anybody
just
can
a
get rich
vessel.
from
Oh, now she's a
chasing
cloud
and being
chaser?
controversial.
I thought she was just a vessel, but she's a cloud chaser, a racist. You called her a racist earlier.
Yeah, just like
She's not a
just like
vessel.
that black dude that-
When we're talking about the
Okay,
white
you
girl
gonna let me
Lily,
talk or you
she's
gonna ask me
suddenly
a question?
she's suddenly
You
not
gonna
a she's suddenly not a vessel.
All right.
She's suddenly not a vessel. She suddenly loses all that. Can you explain that to me?
Charleston White is a vessel. He says stupid stuff don't mean that he's not a vessel to get people triggered and understand what he's trying to say, the message he's trying to pull. You trying to read too much into it and make an argument stupid. Turn it off now.
I'm not sure where you said. I don't know where that came from. That's not following this. That's not following any type of conversation. I had asked you if there's anything wrong with those people reacting to her.
Yeah,
you're saying they're
They're
just
living and
vessels.
learning.
You're saying they're just living and learning, and they're just vessels. But this Lily is a clout chasing racist. Help me understand what's the difference between the two.
Do you know what he meant by the world's a
No.
stage and
Help
you
me
can
understand
play
what's the
your own
difference
part?
between the two.
I'm telling you, the world's a stage, and you can make yourself a leading role by going out in the street, shooting 5 people, or saying something controversial. You're still a vessel through God's play, but you can highlight yourself by saying something controversial and everybody's like, just like Jesse saying what whites can't say. Oh, that's controversial. And then high lift it don't mean it's for the good. Just because you're a court gesture, that's like comedians. You're thinking that's a good thing? That's a bad thing. I don't think, like...
So again, what's the difference? Before you filibuster into a different thing, I let you say the first sentence. We're going to keep it still.
Go ahead.
Again, so what's the difference between Lily and the only just simply vessels of the public?
You're looking for difference in the purposes to create...
No, I'm not looking
guilt
for anything.
and love.
I'm asking you a simple question.
You are.
You're the one that said this.
purpose is
If you
to create
remember,
love and you looking
if
for a
we're
difference.
trying
I
our
tell
best
you
here,
there's no
folks.
difference.
Are you following this, folks? We're doing our best here.
Did I tell y'all
Again,
there's a difference or there's the same?
Again, we're using your words, Frederick. So
No, I said there's the same
you called the
vessels, and you're
public.
asking me
You
what's
called the
difference.
public. Yeah, go ahead.
They're the same vessel. You keep asking me what's the difference. There's no difference. They're the same vessel. Why I keep asking me what's the difference?
Because you made the difference. Because Lily is
No,
a
I
racist.
said they're
Lily
the
is
same
a
vessel.
wait. Lily is a
Being
racist.
used by
Because
God,
you
the
said
same vessel
because
being
you
used by
said
God.
because you said Lily is a racist. You're on hold, Frederick. Because you said Lily is a racist. What'd you call her? A racist, whatever. But the people reacting to her are just simply vessels. They're just vessels. That's why. So I was trying to understand how you saw it different and why Lily is not just a vessel like everybody else. You're saying
Lucifer's
now
a
you're
vessel. saying
she is, but now I'm wondering.
Lucifer's a vessel.
But now I'm
Lucifer
wondering.
uses
Now
vessels,
you're saying
right?
she is a vessel like everybody else. But now I'm wondering. Then what? Then why the focus and on why call her a racist and this and that? If you see her doing no wrong, just like the public, why even call me about it?
I didn't say she wasn't doing no wrong. I said she will get the repercussions and consequences coming to her.
Okay.
Learning lesson.
Will the people reacting to her get their consequences?
You don't even
Will the
listen.
people reacting to her get their consequences?
Yeah, if they break the law.
And what consequences? Oh, but she didn't break the
Depends
law.
on how they break the law, Nick.
But she didn't break the law.
Be smart.
Are you talking about
I said if the people run
Lily
up on
was
her
using
and
her
assault
free speech?
her,
What
they
law
break
did she
the law.
break? Why is she going to get what she deserves?
Racial slurs at work.
I thought
That's
so.
a
There
law.
is no
You probably
such,
can't say it.
folks. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make it clear that that he doesn't believe what he's saying. There's no vessel. There is no this. That's a
There's
racist,
laws.
and we're not racist. That's a racist.
God.
We're not. We
Nick,
can't be
you crying
racist. We're
over
just
guilt,
vessels. All right, Frederick.
You want to save the snow bunnies. You want to save the snow bunnies, and you can't.
You don't even know what I'm about. You're
I
talking
think
about
simping
somebody
for the
else.
Snow bunnies. You simping for the snow bunnies and think she brave for saying the N-word, but how many other white women you know said the N-word before her?
They don't, because they'll get beat up in the streets. They'll get attacked by simply saying the N-word. And you think
Because
that's
they know
and you
better.
think
That's
that's
what I was
okay.
telling you,
and
I'm-
you're laughing and you're smiling about it and you're like, facts,
No,
that's a good
I'm not.
thing.
I'm saying 'cause
But I
they
thought
know
she
it's
was just a
wrong.
vessel. Why is a vessel
It's
saying the N-word
wrong.
deserve all these things that you're saying?
Because it's wrong, Nick.
But are the vessels
Both
wrong?
parties are wrong.
Are the
Two
vessels
devils
wrong?
fighting.
Are the vessels wrong for reacting
Yes.
to her?
They will get their consequences. I said that.
And what consequences?
Depends on how they break the law. I keep telling you.
Well, thank you, Frederick, for showing us nothing. You're hateful.
Nick, you gotta come off.
You're
that.
hateful.
You gotta come off that anger.
You're hateful, Frederick.
No, I'm not. I'm
You're a
trying to tell
hater.
You focus
You're a
on
hater,
one side
Frederick.
and not the other.
You're a hater, Frederick.
Why am I a
And
hater for, though?
You're a hater, Frederick. We all see it, man.
I'm making you punish.
It's gonna bring
I'm
you.
making
It's gonna bring you negativity in your life, man. I say drop it, because
I say
it's just
not
a word,
bringing me-
man.
No, look.
Because it's just
look,
a word,
look, I'm
man.
helping. You say
It's
what?
just a word, man. Don't make it so big
All
of a
right,
deal.
But be careful.
Don't you think it's time
with
for
that
blacks
word.
to get
You
over
say it-
words?
Do you say that word
Do you
in the
think it's
street?
time for blacks to get over words?
Do you
Do you
say
think
that
it's time
word
for
in the
blacks
street?
to get over words?
Nope.
All
Do
right,
you say
sir.
that word
Well,
in the
thank you
street?
for your call. Anything else you want to say
Answer
here
my
before you
question.
go?
Do you say that word in the street?
Do I
Do
say
you
that
say
word?
it?
No, I don't, because I'll get beat up
But
by
you
crazy
promote
blacks.
other people to say it.
I will get beat
But
up.
You promote other people.
I
to
will
say
get
it,
beat.
But
No,
you want other people to say it.
Huh? You don't.
You want other people to say
Frederick
it, but
was.
you don't say it.
Here's Frederick saying, "I don't listen."
I'm asking
and
you a
clearly,
question,
I'm
Nick.
about to answer. I get to answer it any way I want. Here's
Okay.
Frederick. Here's Frederick saying, "I don't listen." And it's clear that he wasn't listening to my segment, folks. Here's the proof. I had said that you shouldn't just say things just because you can. You can bring consequences to yourself and all that. And we all know that you don't go around saying the N-word in the street because crazy, out of control black people will beat you to death for it and think they're justified. And then people like Frederick will think that's okay. And they think that person got what they deserved. That Frederick believes that person gets what they deserved.
I said that person.
Frederick, do you believe if a white woman said the N-word and got beat up?
Nick.
Frederick, no, I'll ask you straight up. Frederick, do you believe if a white woman says the N-word out in the street and gets beat up that she got what she deserved?
No. But I do believe it's God's plan, and the dude that whoever beat her up should go to jail and do 1 to 5 for assault, just like the law says.
Right on, Frederick.
I ain't gonna pick sides and say, oh, he was right and she was wrong.
Well, thank you for making that clear.
Yeah, I never said that.
It took us a while to get there. It took us a while to get there. It was a little difficult. It was a little difficult to get it out of you. Because remember, it started off with they're just vessels. They're just vessels and they didn't do anything wrong. But thank you. We finally got here. Appreciate it.
I'm the one.
Thank you for showing some reason.
Time out. I'm the one causing your show and tell you and Jesse about accountability. Y'all say, oh, Jesus died and everything's forgiven. You can do whatever you want. You're the same as a pedophile. But no, now...
I've never said any of that. I don't know
you
what
want
you're talking
accountability.
about.
Now you want
You're making
accountability.
stuff up.
I love it.
I'm so nice. I let this guy come on my shows and make stuff up.
No, y'all know how it is. Y'all say you're unconscious. It's not you.
Is there something
doing
specific
it.
you want to get to?
Just watch yourself do it. Seeing all you want. That's the basis of the bond. That's
making
why
stuff
I'm
up
on God's side fighting against the bond network because nobody's unconscious.
Hey, man.
You're accountable for your
I let you on the show. It's no problem.
Hold you responsible.
Hey, I let you on the show, no problem. But you can. I don't know why you got to be on the show lying about me like that. I don't know why you got to do that.
About you know.
You're saying
everybody
I said go around and sin. The bond network
truth.
just says go around and sin.
Thank you.
That's how you see it. Well, you're wrong.
No.
Last thing you want to say, Frederick, before we go?
You know I'm right. Hang up before I click. Because the whole bond network knows I'm right. You ain't unconscious, Nick. Hold yourself accountable.
You haven't quite said anything, sir. But thank you for showing some reason at the end there.
They know I did.
Thank you for showing some reason at the end there.
Appreciate
it, Frederick.
Have a good day.
Take care. Right on. Well, it took us a bit there, but we got him to admit that it's wrong to overreact to the N-word like that. It took a little bit. It cost him a little bit to. It cost him. We had to duke it out a bit, but we finally agreed that they're not just vessels. Okay, these are people overreact. These are people and evil is working through them like a vessel to while they're getting mad at a word. And Frederick believes God is doing that. It's an interesting conclusion. But okay, call me again 888-775-3773. Gym Bros, we did Gym Bros, and I wanted to do. We're gonna get right to calls after I do this. I guess this spiel a little bit, and it'll be a little bit off the top. But you saw the Gym Bro injecting the trend to be better. You are seeing over different episodes, just men and women dealing with life, and the relationships between them is strange and tough sometimes. And then you got all the isms and the ogenies and it's just messy. And now you got politics. They got abortion. They got no fault divorce. You got all this stuff, I guess. And basically, I was gonna mention this alongside with some commentary on Kevin Spacey and Ben Affleck. Look, totally unrelated stories, but I'm seeing these guys with money and influence and everything deal with the demons that everybody deals with, that every single person deals with the same demons. And these demons are responsible for everything. Everything. The weirdness in your marriage, the lack of confidence, the why you get angry, like the just weirdness in dealing with people. It's the source of it, and it comes from you. It's not coming from the things you do, the things you put in your body. They can't even defile you. They just pass through your stomach. It's not even your soul. But I'm, however, not going to get into Kevin Spacey, Ben Affleck. Look, they got their lives. It's messy. You read the tabloids. It's not important. Like, you could go watch Spacey on Piers Morgan. Ben Affleck is dealing with some J-Lo stuff. Okay, you may have heard about it. Like this woman is like, they were supposed to get married years ago. She's back, and he doesn't look happy. You see every picture of Ben Affleck, they say, why does he always look so tortured? And you hear messier things. You hear messier things that Affleck, for example, was dealing with, personal things, publicly. We're talking about alcohol and stuff, okay? And we don't need to get into, I was going to get into, no need to get into details. That's not really the important part. That was a jumping off point to some of my thoughts here. And I look at the even like wealthy people, they have everything dealing with the same demons. And I think about it and I look at it as like, that's reality. Like that's how do I put it? Not reality, but that's this world we're living in. This world we're in is that. It's killing, jealousy. Life is not about the pleasures, what you get, how you feel, what you can achieve. Life is like this. It's like bird's eye view. This is the physical world. This is the Satan's world. It's strife, jealousy, addiction. Then you get old. Your friends and family either turn on you or they die. It's like, it's not sweet. You thought it was sweet, but it's not. Okay, and I'm mentioning this not as a black pill, but as a kind of anchoring point here, that's, how do I put this? That's reality. It's not the things you can do and get and what you achieved, the business you did and the money you made and even the marriage you have. And it's not all, it's all of that is still within this dying world. You understand? And the reason I even want to mention this is because, I've even had callers on my show. One recently, I'm thinking of one right now specifically. I can't remember your name, man. I don't even know if I should say your name. If you're listening, you called me. You're like, I'm dealing with pot. I'm dealing with like weird. I forget how you put it, but sex stuff. We don't know. And I'm just thinking about that a little bit, seeing these guys go through stuff and thinking about myself and how I can't think of a single thing. And I don't know what to tell you folks. Maybe you are out there, you're watching this podcast, you're watching this other person, you're watching this gym bro, you're watching this or that person have success in this or that thing. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I might be the only one, but I have never been able to find success in any of these things that I've tried to do until my focus changed to mental resilience. Like anything, like making money, like working out, personality stuff. None of that I've never found any real success in any of that until my focus completely changed. And it could be in a shallow way, in that, okay, I'm only focusing on mental resilience in terms of working out. It's a whole life you got to live. It's not just then, but that's a good start. When that focus kind of changed to that is the only time I really found success, okay? This mental resilience, okay? And so thinking a little bit about my caller on the pot stuff and the things that everybody goes through, on this mental resilience, it starts there. The bedrock is in the mind. So you got to start here. Like, here's a step one for you. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. And now you might think, like you might hear me say that and you think, well, I'm already doing that, Nick. I don't go around talking about my problems. Maybe I just call you and I stay anonymous. But I don't go around talking about it. But you notice you think about it a lot. And you talk about it inside. You got to stop talking about it because it's barely real. The weird stuff happening between you and other people. Why? Let's say you're even in like a crazy relationship or a situation where, marriage is involved. You can't just up and leave because law gets involved. The kids are involved. You're like, what do I even do in that situation? I got an evil woman lying about me, going crazy. you have no choice here but to show a little faith. This is a little bit of God stuff. Maybe you won't get it. I'm learning myself, but what I mean by that is that let's say you had the world yelling at you, your wife yelling at you, lying about you, the world yelling at you, the kids hate you, they want to do this to you, they want to do that, and you are, for all intents and purposes, your P's and Q's check. You're not doing anything wrong, quote unquote. But you are. But if you in that situation showed the best attitude, dropped the anger, dropped the weirdness, dropped the going back to try and figure something out. Do you know what I mean by that? Like something strange happens, you feel weird, and you try and figure that out. Why? Who said what? What happened? What thought happened? And you try and unravel insanity, which underneath insanity is more insanity. So stop talking about it. You understand me here? And what was I just saying? Yeah, that relationship with this thing that you think is you. You've heard it before. Mental resilience. You understanding me a little bit, folks? Oh yeah, those weird things you're feeling, you try and unravel it. If you showed up to this situation I'm describing where the world is crazy on you, and you showed up with the best attitude, and you dropped whatever you think you're trying to unravel that's making you feel, you just dropped that. And you just came with the best attitude. I don't know, maybe you don't believe in God, but if you believe in God, he's got to be that kind of God. Like if I believe in God, and he's like a dad, in my opinion. And he's going to see that and bless you. Okay? He's going to see that and bless you. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You can't go wrong if you, even if your whole situation is messed up, even if your whole situation is looking crazy. I can't even tell you what would happen because that's your situation. But I just know that if you came with the right attitude, things work out. And I know this because I know this because I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing trying to deal with the devils in others, judging the devils in me, trying to fix that, trying to fix reputations, trying to undo whatever I did or something. And thinking, wow, look at this mess. There's no getting out of this. But yet feeling all that, experiencing that anyways, and not going the blame route, and just admitting, wow, okay, whatever, XYZ, and experiencing that myself, that all those things were a lie, and there's nothing to unravel, and even if the world is evil to me, that that things can work out, okay, if you just show up with the right attitude. You understand what I'm saying here? In a small way in my life. Okay, that's just in a small way in my life. Mental resilience. Because you're like making yourself weaker. Not every time, you think you're getting weaker every time you turn to the pod, every time you, I don't know, say the wrong thing, or every time you feel weird, or every time you are confused, or every time you get mad, even, like, or you think that that's what's making you weaker. But no, those are just the effect of your weakness. And the weakness started in the mind. When you got that thought, when you got that feeling, and you went with it. That's the resilience I'm talking about. Because you feel it, it's all over, and you're just like, I gotta do something, I gotta think something, I gotta make something happen. This person did something to me, I need to blame. And it's all over. It's just, it takes over. And that's the resilience I'm talking about. Folks, am I still live? That's the resilience. You understand? That's what's making you weaker. It's when you don't drop something. When you get the thought, you're like, but maybe that person did say something like that, and they really did mean that. And then later you're like, okay, that was just a thought. Well, you know what you just did? You just did a rep. You just did some like negative reps and fed the ego. And you're like, okay, that was just thought or whatever. I'm gonna drop it. But you felt it and you were in it a little bit, and you went along with it and entertained it. What do you think you just did? You just did a rep and gave the ego muscles. Now the next time you're going to be able to do more reps, but in a negative way. You understand what I'm saying here? So don't freaking trip about getting mad or the drugs or whatever you're doing. It's when you do, let's say you're doing something and you get the thoughts telling you this is what it is, that's what it is. And you're like, yeah, I am this, I am that. You just did negative reps. No. You understand what I'm saying here a little bit? So, yeah. You give me a little bit, hopefully. You can call me about it, 888-775-3773. In fact, I have a caller. I got Aaron. How you doing?
Hey,
out of Utah, on the air. Thank you for calling me. I haven't heard from you. Nice to hear from you.
It was good, man. It's been a little bit.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. No, I was gonna just two things I was gonna cover pretty lightly. So, firstly, I was gonna explain because there's always a caller that prior to me that always like just kind of changes my idea or whatever to speak about, but the good old Frederick, he got to understand that N-word, it's been like kind of imposed on us kind of on a mass scale. He's over here like saying, you shouldn't say it. It's a forbidden word. But, where I grew up, that word was used so common that it was simply unavoidable. That word, because mainly people that are African-American, they use that word so excessively in your presence that as a Caucasian, it's pretty much imposed on you. You don't have a choice of whether or not you want to hear that word millions of times, especially when you do blue-collar jobs surrounded by mainly Negroes. So that word is kind of imposed on us. And again, I like that saying that you came up with, my brother, with the whole, all of Americans are part black now.
They are. American
right.
society shifts ever blackward.
Yeah.
It's like the Overton window, but it's different. Sorry, go on.
I think it was even the goal of a certain selected group in the 50s to slowly over time negrify us, and I think they've done an exceptional job.
You're saying
he's got to understand.
I don't know. I just don't know anything about that. Go on.
Well, that's cool. But no, again, the word has been imposed on us. If we could all just not say it, like if I could just go the rest of my life without hearing it, then that's totally cool. But Frederick knows this, by the way. He knows that the average black person says the word 1,000,000 times a day.
Yeah.
But then don't you dare say it, evil whitey, or else I have an excuse to murder you and get off.
Now, Frederick says that person should be in jail if a black person did that. He says that person should go to jail if they were to attack someone like that. Just to be fair.
Saying that that dreamlike snow bunny getting fired for saying it. He does agree with that, but he's saying that someone should.
Yeah. So he's and I get it's like he comes in all reasonable like that and so But just to be fair, it is what he said. It is what he said. He would like to see those people in jail. But like you and I, I feel like you and I agree on this, that what we're seeing is just this unjustifiable anger in blacks over a word. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So whatever, you can be all reasonable with the law you want, but it's still unreasonable to judge that girl, like you said, the one who got fired, and to think that the public is not wrong at all for overreacting to her.
Yeah, I mean, either way, though, man, like the blacks have to understand that word is now mainstream. It's now worldwide. Everyone knows about it, but they're the one that imposed all of that on us. They pressed that all on us. We weren't dying to say the N-word. That's their prevailing culture that's kind of placed that on us, you know. I mean, it's a shame that we don't have a forbidden word, you know. I mean, if each race had a forbidden word, then we'd be even, right? But unfortunately, you know, Caucasians, is there any racial slur that really gets us going? I mean, there really isn't any, right?
I can't think of one, but you would like it to be that way?
Well, if we each had a coveted word, that would level the playing field. Again, you have to understand, I've worked at jobs and I've lived in environments where I was one of the only white people. And, you know, again, hearing that word so common, you know, it's just, it'd be nice if I had a word of my own, you know, because they can use that word as an excuse for anything.
I can kind of understand what you're saying, only if you meant that. Only if you said that in the with the express purpose to enlighten and not to divide. You know what I mean? Kind of like how we do in White History Month. We don't do it because in my opinion, because whites need their own thing. They don't need their own thing. But this is a way to enlighten people on how judgmental and hateful they are. You understand what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want whites to go black. I would not like to see whites. You know, like I keep saying, everyone's a little black, but maybe we could stop the shift blackward, because I wouldn't like to see whites go down that route and say, you know what, we just want our word, and then now they're also, you can say a word to white people that turns them into crazy people. That's not the direction I want white people to go, or anybody.
Yeah. Anyway, but switching gears again about what Shorty said, I do agree with what she said. She was talking about like how most of these broads don't really care about money. I do, in fact, find that true as well. All 3 long-term relationships I've ever been in, the girl made more bread. And that's just never been an issue. I've never been on a first date, you know, with a snow bunny, and she's worried about financial stuff. That usually that conversation never comes up. And like you, I think I don't know if you concur or not, but you know, you're talking about all the red pill content, all the hypergamy, you know, blah blah blah. Maybe there's other categories where that's in play. But yeah, as far as, you know, that's one good thing. White women are out of control right now. I'll have to be honest, but that's one thing that I can't really throw on them. I can't really put that one on them. They don't really care about money like that.
I entirely agree, and it's totally it's totally culture war stuff, kind of pushing things. And that's not me saying that women don't care about money. That's not me saying that. It's just that I agree with what you're saying. I think you're, in general, as crazy as feminism is and all that, people are still, like, you know, within certain normal boundaries on certain things, okay? And what I'm trying to say is that when you're dating, women don't ask about money and all that because they know what it is. They can see how you dress, what car you know what I mean? It's not about judging the man either, but it's just that it's not questions that you need to ask. Women know usually they know what it was. Women know who they're getting with usually. And it only becomes a problem, money and other things only become a problem when you cross that bridge. So let's say now the bills are stressing her. Maybe you're a guy and you're telling her all your problems, and maybe you don't have the things you need, and it's like, okay, now it is a problem. And that's when fights happen and all that. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, I've only had one girl my whole life to where I think it literally ended because of finances, and believe it or not, it was a Mormon chick. She was super, super holy. I mean, she would pray, you know, twice a day. She would pray for so long. And, you know, I'm a Christian, but I mean, this girl was just super holy to the max, grew up in the church, and, you know, she acted like she was super holy. But then when it came to that money, I think because I wasn't a six-figure in, I think she, you know, but she had what do you think of this? She had kind of a reasonable inclination to it, and that was that she, you know, they want as many kids as possible. She was saying that she wanted like 10 kids and all that. Wow. So she's saying, like, I need a man that really makes some bread, you know, so I can fulfill my dream of having 10 kids, because you know what they believe. They believe that if you can get more souls from heaven down here to live this treacherous experience of ours, the better that they not rewarded, but it's just like kind of what they're called to do. I mean, that's why they manufacture so many children, the Mormon Church. But that's the only chick, and you know.
That's actually interesting, man. Well, I'm not going to criticize an individual being honest about something they want. That's not usually easy to do, especially the ladies. For her to, I don't know how it went down, but if she was clear on something, I'm not going to necessarily criticize someone for being honest about what they want. It makes things clear, and you don't have problems down the road. Can I nitpick on something here on money and women? If I can nitpick here, people are probably not going to like this. But how expensive are 10 babies? Like, what I'm trying to say here is, for all the planners, okay, this is going to be inaccurate, but the moms in the chat maybe are not going to understand. But look, if the babies are fed, if you're eating, the babies are eating, and there's a roof, what the heck are you complaining about? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need all this money because I'm going to have this many kids and I got my life all planned out. Maybe that's not the one you wanted anyways, man. Maybe you dodged a bullet. But look, if you're going to do all these plans, I need this much money for all these kids. Can we drop the ego a little bit? Like, if you're fed, if you got a roof, the job's done. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I told her. I was like, dude, you can't act like you're super holy and then just be so worldly in that regard. I mean, it's okay. I kind of don't blame her in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, why get with a bum ass end like me when she can get with a dude that can, some Mormon angel that grew up in the church that can provide that? Because you have to understand, I am anything but super holy. So maybe her and I wouldn't have been a good match. So maybe I did dodge a bullet in that. So she was just too religious. There's some people that are so such religious freaks. It's usually the women I run into. They're just so religious. That's what turns people off to being religious in the first place. That's the freaks they don't want knocking at the door. They just take it too far.
That is so interesting, actually. That is actually really interesting. Anyway, Christians have really done a number on people when you think about it, on their own families.
Yeah. And I just want to close out with one thing as far as the Hunter Biden thing. I'm not sure what your view is on the law, but this is one of the situations where, like, even though a leftist is being charged, we know that it's all just for show. It's pretty apparent. Like you said, it's just lawfare on both sides, very similar to, what's going on with Trump or whatever. But this is one occasion where I do actually support, I don't think Hunter Biden should be charged. I do not believe that because there's no other right that you lose because you're a drug user. Why do you lose that one? Why do you lose one of the most important rights just because you are a drug user?
I'm following your commentary, and I my only apprehension and totally agreeing is my own ignorance. But I have similar questions about felonies and guns and stuff. And I'm not going to say that Hunter Biden didn't commit a crime or that nothing should be done or whatever. But I find it hard to believe that that this is supposed to be like important to us, to the nation, and like this is really justice and like what we should be focusing on.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, Hunter Biden is just one case, but it is kind of critical as far as long-term moving forward because there's a Supreme Court case that's U.S. v. Rahimi, where that was the dude that wasn't allowed to possess a gun because his ex had a restraining order against him. And that's going to the Supreme Court. Now, what they do with these Supreme Court cases, again, I'm in the legal field, so that's how I know, but what they do with a lot of these Supreme Court cases is, depending on the outcome of that Supreme Court case, it will have effects on tons of other categories of things. For example, another big one is, people that use cannabis, like medical cannabis, they're not allowed to own firearms currently, right? However, based on the outcome of U.S. v. Rahimi, let's say it's positive, and let's say people whose exes have restraining orders on them can own firearms, well, then they've actually made that determinant that will actually impact the result of medical cannabis users owning firearms as well, and maybe ultimately in the end, maybe like all drug addicts. I don't know, because they're starting to find that a lot of these things are unconstitutional.
Take away the guns from coffee drinkers. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, again,
that's a joke. I'm being obtuse. I'm joking. I'm not saying. Yeah. I don't know if I'm not saying anything. I'm just making a joke. I don't know if drug people should be having guns. I don't know if they shouldn't.
And I'm not sure. Well, I mean, is there any other right that you take away? Do you lose freedom of speech because you're a cannabis user, right? Do you lose? You see what I'm saying? So it kind of doesn't. It kind of has to align with the rest of the amendments And so, we'll see how this. I pretty much know which way they're going to go. They're in the process of rescheduling cannabis, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make it a Schedule 3, so they're going to loosen up all these laws on it. However, I just
this is actually a lot more interesting than I thought. I didn't know there were so many levels here. Because at the same time loosening those laws, it's like you're saying should all those people suddenly have guns? And like it's actually a more interesting topic than I thought. And the U.S. versus Rahimi, I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm just cursory search here. Kind of fascinating of Aaron C. Thank you.
Well, Nick, the mentality that you should have moving forward is always that you want the least amount of gun restrictions possible. And I know some people, like me, for example, I'm not really cool with violent felons having GATs, but the thing is you still want the gun laws to be as loose and unrestricted as possible. And the reason for that is because criminals don't follow them, one, and secondly, they'll always be able to get a GAT. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll always be able to do it. It's not hard, especially in my state. In my state, you can just go on the gun exchange website, meet someone online, and then just buy it off of them. No paperwork, no ID, no nothing, right? So they're always going to get them. So as far as the citizens being able to have access to them and not be prosecuted and have because these are life-ruining charges. You understand?
Yeah.
These are federal felonies. These are whatever job you have, you lose. Your house is gone. I mean, these are really severe penalties. So for these kind of things. So yeah, you yourself as a law-abiding, I know you think of it. Oh, should crackheads have guns? Should felons have guns? But again, if criminals really want those gas, they're going to get them.
Yeah, and my question, inaccurate. I hear I'm just saying things, but I guess my question centers more around: should all these potheads or crackheads, as you said, should they all suddenly have guns? Is something that came into my mind. But that's not necessarily even important in terms of when you're making laws. I'm just thinking out loud because it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. And, I'm
military
stuff, so I'm like 50-50. I'm not nowhere near the police or nothing, but there is a lot of laws that I do support, especially revolving around guns. But, yeah, again, the criminals are always, in my state here, if you're a crackhead, you can go get a gun very easily, okay? You can go to a gun show. There's no law that's going to stop you.
Yeah.
The law is only going to apply to those that are trying to be law-abiding. It's not fair that a vet, that has disabilities and has medical issues cannot use medical cannabis and also own a firearm. That simply is just not right. That's unconstitutional in my view. But again, just something to smoke on, Sonny.
Something to smoke on. Lawman of Aaron C. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about it, man. You have a good one, my man.
Call me again, sir. 888-775-3773. I might be able to take one more. Before we end the show here, we're getting pretty close. I do have to... Hold up. I do have to thank Carver for the super chat. Says, Get a Job returned. Nick Savage moments coming soon. Yes, did you hear? Did they really reinstate Get a Job? The Get a Job channel, the Get a Job YouTube channel, who has made those amazing Jesse Lee Peterson compilations over the years and have just brought so many eyes on Jesse Lee Peterson's content. We cannot express our gratitude to Get a Job. Trying to see if that channel does it in fact exist? That's youtube.com/@getajob, and you can see those Jesse Lee Peterson savage moments for yourself if you never have. Resubscribe to Get a Job. He's back. Don't know what the word is. I don't know what Masonic rituals Get a Job had to do to regain his YouTube channel. But we love him. Thank you. Take care, Frederick. But we love him. Let's see what else. We got another super chat from Modern Gentleman. Thank you so much. Says, look within. That's where God is, and that's where you'll find success. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Right on. Appreciate the super chats. We got a Rumble rant. Almost missed that one. Base Nation with the Rumble rant says, Alpha Bucks. Thank you for those Alpha Bucks, Base Nation. And of course, the lemons over on DLive will not be forgotten. The lemons. Appreciate it, DLive. You know my top contributors on DLive will be in first class this Friday. Don't forget, we're going to have a fun Friday show. Fridays at 4 p.m. Don't miss it. You want to hit the like. You want to hit the subscribe. You want to be hitting the subscribes. You want to be hitting the notification bell so you don't miss your flight. So, what shall we do now? Look, I got this fascinating thing with AOC, the far right and anti-Semitism. I'm claiming dibs. I'm doing it tomorrow, but it's okay if the network gets to it before me. But AOC, I'm gonna need more time on that, but we'll leave it for tomorrow. We shall leave it for tomorrow. We'll leave it for tomorrow, but I will show you these two little back-to-back clips. Talking about, hey, you know what? This fits the show. I'll play you these clips. It fits the show today. N-word. We're talking about racism a little bit, hate. Cultures that are, we're talking about culture. And cultures that are not like the culture that you're used to. We're talking about foreigners a little bit. Look, you got to watch this Irishman on a bus in Ireland, okay? Just watch this. Now, what's going on here? Oh, unmute it, folks. Watch this.
Look at this, boys. They got on the bus. Every single fucking one of them. All wearing in black. All of them from fucking wherever. Every single fucking one of them. What the fuck is going on?
Every single one of them. Boys, every single one of them.
Look at this, boys. They got on the bus.
Oh, man.
In hundreds of them here.
Wait.
In hundreds.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on.
Look at this, boys. They got on the bus. Every single fucking one of them. All wearing in black. All of them from fucking wherever. Every single.
What's he talking about? My chat is asking. They are not understanding the Irishman. He's saying every single one of them. I think he says is black or brown or something. He's remarking on how this Irishman in Ireland is remarking. He's just shocked a little bit. He's gone on the bus. Maybe he's on a night out, and he's a little shocked here at what he's seeing.
One of them. What the fuck is going on?
What is going on? Okay, not every single one of them, man. It looks like you may be sitting around, maybe some of your friends. Maybe every single one of them except you guys, which is kind of an interesting thing, right? I'm not from Ireland. I'm not from there. I didn't live there. Maybe. But I'm seeing this man's reaction, and he's shocked. This does not seem normal to him. And I'm remembering, I went to Canada recently. I told you a little bit about it. Things are changing, and they're changing fast, and he's not used to the bus like this, okay? That's an Irishman in Ireland. Let's go to England. We're going to Tommy Robinson for this one. And he posted this video of a hotel allegedly housing migrants. Watch this.
In hundreds of them here.
Walking through the hallways, going down the stairs. And here he's going to film, you're going to see him film a sign that this hotel has put up in this hotel, informing their guests. Now, what are they informing the guests about? Maybe they don't, look, they're informing the guests about touching children. In fact, this is a sign informing guests, do not touch kids without permission of their parents. Now, who do you have to be informing this? Where are you that you need a sign to inform people not to touch children without the permission of their parents? Do these people know that the public doesn't watch, does not care about consumer warnings? Haven't they seen the stats? If you try and mama them, they'll just do it more. But wait, who are we dealing with that you even have to mama them in this way? You're telling them not to touch the children without the... It reminds me of some of these signs I saw posted up in Canada telling the migrants not to defecate in public and on the beaches. That's what they were doing. They're literally just popping a squat and just letting her loose out on the streets. And they're not even homeless. These are just migrants. They're supposed to be like normal. And they're on the beaches of Canada, letting them loose. And they had to put up signs telling them, hey, we don't do that around here. Hey, we don't do that to children around here, especially not with their permission. Now, I don't know, with their permission, it gets to changes, but that's still in hot legal territory. Please do not leave children unattended. Wow. You shouldn't do that anyways, right? But we need to put up, they're putting up the signs for this. Like, I don't know what to tell you folks.
Please do not touch kids without permission of their parents.
What the F is this place is what that person says. I don't know. It might not be quite England anymore. I don't know exactly where you are, but crazy videos. Smoke on that. Because we're going to get into it more tomorrow on white fortress cities, AI, the far right, and anti-Semitism with the left, anti-Semitism with the progressives. AOC is telling you can't do it. We're going to get into it tomorrow. Fascinating stuff. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Back tomorrow, like I said, at 12 noon Pacific time for more American Anchor Baby. Don't miss it. And, of course, the rest of the network you don't want to miss. Bible Thumper Thursday on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. Take care, folks. I'm out. See you tomorrow. Peace. Oh, Lil Nick, too. He's got to say bye-bye.